Drizzle Stick wants to know where Omar Manning is.
He's been banged up, basically. Just not been available. He's not in the doghouse or anything. And now I'm talking to a blank screen. But anyway, no, he's just been hobbled, and it's kind of hard. I mean, a lot of the guys are banged up right now, and I expect you'd probably see him back here, on Saturday after a long week of rest and rehab.
Never Mind Me points out that, of course, Nebraska only lost by 6, but it was a very odd statistical game. Purdue pretty much controlled the ball all the time, and the defense for Nebraska was on the field constantly and gave up over 600 yards.
Yeah, just couldn't get off the field. I mean, Purdue did that. Jeff Brom, he knows how to scheme a game, and he knows how to hurt a defense, and that was classic Jeff Brom, and going after, you got young guys, making some of their first starts, and banged up guys in the secondary, and they went after it, and I mean, it was hard to watch, but they were still in it, coming down to the end. So you take it one way or the other. It's not like Nebraska's the only team that Purdue does that to.
All right, folks, comments and questions. We will take them here at the Voice of College Football. And I am scanning our videos coming in from this week, all the comments, to see if there's anything worth addressing here. Is anybody playing good on defense? Can you point to any particular players that you think are getting the job done on the defensive side?
Well, I mean, I obviously think Garrett Nelson's picked it up here in the last few weeks. And, some of the linebackers have been playing well, but are banged up right now. And obviously Malcolm Herzog's come in and made kind of a statement there as well. But, overall, things are still kind of a mess over there, but they're doing the best they can. And I think playing a little bit more physical is helping them out, and getting a little bit more direction in the way they kind of changed up the coaching in that secondary. So, it's a work in progress. Right now, like a linebacker, you're pretty much going to have to rely on an Ernest Hausman to play quite a bit, as a true freshman. So it's up to some of those guys, like I mentioned, like a Garrett Nelson and maybe an O'Shawn Mathis, to really get these guys going, and a Caleb Tanner to lead these guys, and Ty Robinson, another guy. I think Ty's played pretty well here the last few weeks as well. I'd put him up there. But your pool of people you're talking about, it's kind of small right now. They really need some of these other guys that are, reserves to step up, because it's just been atrocious the way Nebraska has just been getting dominated on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And that's just not Nebraska football. That's not what it was when, they were successful. And I think they do have a guy like Mickey Joseph that understands that right now. And hopefully that, he can prove himself and end up getting the job and move forward and make some changes there. Because you got to have a top-notch offensive line guy and a defensive line guy that understands the way Nebraska used to be played. Nebraska football used to be played, because back in the day under Coach Osborne, you had two guys basically on the line, coaching on the line on each sides of the ball. All right. You had a guy that was coaching the interior of the line and a guy coaching the exterior of the line and the tight ends on the offensive side. Same on the defensive side. You had a guy coaching the interior line and a guy coaching the rush ends and the outside linebackers. Right now they've got two guys coaching the secondary, which is obviously that was a position of need as well. And, so they're definitely, my point is that they need to make some sweeping changes there, with the guys that are coaching the interior guys that really know what it takes to win football games in the Big Ten Conference these days.